Hello, my name is Jim Murrell, and as you look into my face today, you're looking in the eyes of the most blessed individual you've ever met in your life. I say that because back on May the 23rd, 2013, I received a heart transplant at UAB Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama. What a wonderful gift it is and will be as I continue to heal each day. What a blessing it is to have such an offering of that organ, that heart being given unto me that gave me a new leash, a renewal, and a new opportunity at life. I'm so grateful. I'm so indebted to the one who died, but more than that, even in this moment, to the family members who offered such an organ to me and to others who had opportunities to live in this life. Now, when you think about that, I want you to consider that I'm only 38 years old. I was born with a congenital heart disease that caused me to have an open heart surgery at only 6 months old, which in that day, 1975, was totally unheard of. The chances of me coming in and out of surgery at that point in time were given to my family, my mother and father, of only about 10%. But yet I survived. And I had a good life. All throughout the rest of my life, I had some level of energy. There were things that I was limited in doing, but nonetheless, I was healthy. I never took a pill. I never had to have any special examinations outside my yearly or sometimes even tri-yearly checkups. Everything was great until 6 years ago. As predicted by the doctors, my heart began to fail once again. They did several tests, including heart caths and such as that, and they discovered that the tissue of my heart had suddenly become hard, and there was no reversing it. The right side of my heart, as they said, was basically dead. It was of no use, and I needed a heart transplant. They immediately began treatment. With medications and such as that, they installed an ICD, which is a defibrillator / pacemaker in my chest. They gave me a chance to have a heart that it was, at least for the moment, in rhythm. A little bit later than that, as my heart continued to fail, they then put in a PICC line. That is an IV line that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They pumped in a medication to me that was so dangerous at some levels that it was almost impossible to consider. But it was my only hope at that point. It was the only way I could survive, and for 10 months I ran around with that medication on my side. I say ran around, mostly what I did was sleep and rest. My children were never given the opportunity to play with me. You see, when you think about it, and I put it in reality stands, my daughter, who's 11 years old, she could remember the days when her father could run and play fetch and catch and tag. She had a wonderful time at that. But 6 years ago, she lost that opportunity. My son, who's only 7, however, he's never known Daddy being able to play. He prayed every day from the time I was listed on the transplant list until I finally received it. He prayed every day, "Dear God, send a heart to my daddy so he can play with me." Oh, what a touching little boy he is. And that's the way that it is for so many people who are in my condition. Do you realize that every day in the United States, as it is today, there are more than 115,000 people awaiting organs? They need transplants in order to survive this life. They need transplants in order to have that new opportunity, that new leash on life, the one that I've been so blessed with. But you know, many times those organs do not come. Is it because the death rate in the United States is not high enough to fill such a need as that? No, that's not true. In the United States alone, each year, more than 2.5 million people die. With 115,000 organs needed, you would assume then that easily those needs should be met, but they're simply not. Is it the case that we as Americans do not love one another? We do not care. We're not concerned about the well-being of other people, and so because of that, we do not donate our organs? No, that's not the case either, friends. I know better than that. Most people in the United States do care for one another. They are trusting and loving and concerned about one another's well-being, and so because of that, the organs should be there, but they're simply not. Friends, it's not because of the death rate. It's not because of us being uncaring or unloving. It's simply because of our lack of awareness. We're not aware of the fact of what a wonderful gift it is, how easy it is to donate our organs in the end of our life and to allow someone else to have the beginning of yet a new life. Now, sometimes we're apprehensive, aren't we? We either don't know what to do, and we'll mention that in a moment, or we think, well, if I go down and become a donor, if I fill out those forms or whatever, then when it comes time for my life to be hanging in the balance, maybe in an emergency room after a car accident or laying there after a stroke or a heart attack, maybe the case is the doctors won't help. Friends, that's not the case. As a matter of fact, the doctors will do so much for you in every occasion. They care about men. They care about women and their health. And they do everything that they can the moment to save your life. Most times, if not all times, your family members will be there and they'll be begging. They'll be pleading on your behalf. They'll be trying to gain your case for your survival. But when it comes down to it, friends, God may stop giving you life. And if He chooses to do that, there's no doctor or nurse on this earth or family member who can beg and change that. And when that occurs, whether or not you're a donor is going to matter to someone else. You know, you'll receive the same treatment. You'll be treated as well as anybody else. Why not donate your organs? But let me ask this question. Why are we so apprehensive? Well, again, it may be that we don't know how to go about it. You know, you've probably known or heard for years that when you go down to get your driver's license, for example, that when you go to the Department of Motor Vehicles, you can just simply check a box on a form and say, I want to be a donor. And that's still the case. It always has been. And that's a great way to do it, because there on your driver's license, in your wallet, your billfold, your purse, there will be that information there before everybody who would come to know you in the middle of tragedy, and they would find out that that was your desire at least, and they could at least give you the chance to donate your organs. But there's yet other ways to do it. The best way, perhaps the easiest way today, is to get online, go to the address that I'm about to place beneath me on the screen, and you can go there and register to become an organ donor in your state. But upon doing that, you'll receive a nice little card that'll thank you for becoming a donor, and you'll receive a card that says that you are. You can carry in that wallet or billfold or purse. But there's something much more important than that. And that is that once that decision is made, and I pray that you'll consider it at least, that once that decision is made, please tell your family. In the moment, they'll be the ones standing there in those terrible, trying situations, telling those doctors and nurses or whoever needs to know, yes, my loved one, they desire to donate life to someone else. Friends, you cannot imagine how beautiful the gift of my heart transplant has been. You cannot begin to comprehend the opportunity that I've been given, and the gratefulness, the appreciation, the thankfulness, the gratitude, all those words, or cannot even begin to describe the leash on life that I have. And I pray every day, several times a day, for my donor's family, and I pray and thank God for their gift, and I thank God for comforting them, I hope, in their loss. It's my dream one day to meet them. It's my dream one day to even offer them an opportunity, if they desire to listen to their loved one's heart placed within my chest, to know that their loved one lives on physically in a way, as he lives on in their minds also emotionally. He lives physically inside of me. Friends, it's the most wonderful gift I've ever been offered physically in this life. And so I pray that you'll do everything that you can today. Stop, take time, consider, speak with your spouse, speak with your children, your parents, whoever, a good friend. Ask them if you should be a donor. Tell them of what I've said, and tell them that you have a great desire to do that. And when that is the case, go ahead and make the move. Change your driver's license. There's no charge for that. Go online, fill out the form, allow yourself to become a donor. There's no charge for that. It won't change a thing in the world for you, but for someone else, it will change their lives entirely. It's the greatest gift you can offer physically in this life. Friends, I thank you so much for your decisions. I feel confident already that many of you who are seeing this video have already decided in your mind, that's just what I'm going to do. I want to be a donor. I want to give life. Thank you.